Good morning. It's another bright, sunny day. God's love and mercy is brand new today, and I pray that you experience it in a whole brand new way today, because God is ready to touch your life and change your life this day and forevermore. So reach out and accept what God has for you this day. Now I want to read from the 32nd chapter of Genesis, starting at verse 22. That night Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 maidservants, and his 11 sons across the ford of the Jabbok. After he had sent them across the streams, he sent over all his possessions. So Jacob left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Then the man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man asked him, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he answered. Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with men and have overcome." Jacob said, "Please tell me your name." But he replied, "Why do you ask my name?" Then he blessed him there. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "It is because I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared." The sun rose above him as he passed Peniel, and he was limping because of his hip. Therefore, to this day, the Israelites do not eat the tendon attached to the socket of the hip, because the socket of Jacob's hip was touched near the tendon. May God bless this reading and this hearing of his word this morning. Every time I run past this scripture, every time I read it, I get a physical vision in my mind, and I just can't get it out. It's Jacob and God wrestling. And there they are in a big square ring, and they're wrestling with each other, and they have an arm and lock head to head with each other, and they're rolling around and tossing around, and finally God gets tired of wrestling with Jacob. Jacob wants to be blessed, but God gets up, God takes Jacob and he backs him into the corner, and he throws him against the other ropes, and he comes running out, and he knocks him down. He jumps down, and he puts the Ric Flair figure 4 leg lock on him. And when Jacob wouldn't give up, God pressed it a little harder, and he touched the hip, and Jacob limped from that day forward. But God blessed Jacob. He blessed him in such a way that he changed his name. His name from Jacob to his name is now Israel. What a blessing. And he promised him that he'd be with him all the days of his life. Wow. Boy, Jacob must have had a real tussle that night. Him and God. You see, Jacob had been the liar. Jacob had been the one who pretended to be someone else. Jacob had been the one who was always deceiving people. And then him and God finally, this night, resolved all of that. Resolved it all. And Jacob knew that he had to go and do what God was wanting him to do. He now had to go and be the head of the nation called Israel. And his name was changed to Israel. So it was such a blessing. So he wrestled through the night, but in the morning, what was there for him? Grace and mercy, brand new that day, just for him. And it changed his life. And he goes, He's scared to meet his brother, but yet he goes to meet his brother. The reason he was afraid of his brother had told him when he left town the first time, you ever come back, I'll kill you. But he goes and he meets and he finds grace and mercy with his brother. Wow. What a blessing for that day. God is ready to bless you this day. Just go and meet God. Go and struggle with God. Go. Meet whatever it is that's standing in the way of your life. Meet it head on, knowing that the love and the mercy and the grace of God is there just for you, as he was for Jacob, who became Israel, a new man that day.